Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Dogecoin. I'm going to do a full update on Dogecoin right here for those of you interested in the short term, but also the long term price action for Dogecoin here. Since the last time I covered it, I would say we've been pretty correct. I think the last time I covered it was Sunday. You can check that out. I mean, you can just check out that video and see the lines I drew on the chart. But back then, what we said, Sunday was actually a pretty good day, of course, in the market. Yeah, it was October the 19th. Sunday, we got some strong momentum. We were able to get a strong, relatively high volume, at least for a Sunday, reclaim back above this blue level right here. That's 18.7 cents, which is the value area low, aka the range low, since the price action that we had since the major Friday crash 1.5 weeks ago. So I said, okay, that looks good. There's some resistance right here at 19.6 cents, the point of control. But I think from here we can actually rally into the top of the range at the value area high right here, the other blue line at 20.7 cents. But from there, you know, we need quite a lot of momentum if we want to break out of that. And you can see that, well, you can see it quite clearly right here. If you take a look at the open interest, which is low and there's no major increase in that, you can also, I mean, it's so small you can barely see it, but you can see the volume down here also incredibly low. So we got up to that level yesterday when there was quite a lot of bullish momentum over the course of the US session, but the momentum wasn't enough. We rejected, and now we have fallen back down below the point of control. And honestly, you know, purely technically talking about Dogecoin right here, we are still in a consolidation, right? We are in a consolidation between 18.7, so 0.187, and 20.7 cents, so that's 0.207. That's the area that we are in, but there's no real sign of you know, breaking out. And then I would say, okay, but do we see some sort of strength here? And I would argue the answer to that is no. I mean, if we zoom in very much on Dogecoin right here, what you can see is that every time that there's some sort of momentum, right? So that is Sunday, that is Monday, Tuesday, every day we have momentum. But every day we do get some sort of a reaction. Like on Monday, we actually got a pretty good reaction, but ultimately it gets nowhere. And ultimately you can see that the value area stays down here. So there's quite a lot of volume going into getting some sort of a good move and getting some sort of bullish price action. But ultimately we get rejected and we leave these weak highs right here. But ultimately we push down and we still have a fair value gap right here at 18.8. So short term, like I would say it's most likely that we will just stay in this consolidation, right? I don't immediately, even though I think the price action is weak, especially if you zoom in, you'll find quite a lot of weak price action. We still have a support at 18.8. I don't expect us to break down below the range right now. So pushing down into the bottom of the range, I do think is likely. From there, I think it's more likely that we will be able to bounce. But because of that lack of strength we're seeing right now, or at least over the course of the last couple of days within the range, I think staying within the range is the cap to the upsides for Dogecoin right now. And I don't like to say that, right? Because I know a lot of you either hold Dogecoin or are interested in buying Dogecoin, and I would much rather be bullish on Dogecoin, but I can't right now. The only reason I can get bullish on Dogecoin is if we get a very strong Bitcoin, right? If we see Bitcoin recovering very strongly over the course of today, if we see volume that actually holds up, like then, or if we get good news fundamentally, a trade deal, for example, between China and the United States, like then Dogecoin can break out. Then we'll probably rally up to 20.7 cents immediately, break out and rally into 22.5 cents, right? So that is a possibility, something like that, but only for the lack of momentum and a lack of strength specifically for Dogecoin. That's only a possibility if we get some market-wide strength. And at this point of time, market-wide strength is not there. And for Dogecoin, there's also no specific momentum and no specific strength. I would say it's a little bit more likely, you know, we can talk about a bullish breakout all we want, but I would actually say it's quite likely that, you know, or at least it's more likely that we're still going to get a move into 17 and 17.5 cents if we get some bad news. So be prepared for that. Assume we're going to remain stable. But you know, buying into stability is not necessarily a thing I would do. And be ready for that dump when the bad news comes, right? So those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know about Dogecoin for now. So hopefully it helps, and hopefully I'm soon back with some more positive and bullish remarks. But that is at least my honest thoughts on what you should expect from Dogecoin for now. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.